Hi, everybody. Back with our homework for lesson 9. We're on the homework helper page, which is page 113. So what we're talking about today is that there are different ways of counting. Now, counting money is the same as counting any other numbers, so they're not necessarily writing the number sign every time. But if we wanted to count from 67 to 317, $67 to $317, we can show the numbers that we're counting and kind of leave off the dollar signs. It'll save us a little bit of time. One way to count from $67 to $317 is to start with ones. So we're going to get up to um, so 67. Oh no, they didn't start with ones. They started with tens. 67, 77, 87, 97, 107, 117. Then we're going to switch to hundreds. 217, 317. You could easily count by ones as well. You could do 3 ones until you get to 70, and then count by tens until you get to 100, count by hundreds, count by tens, and count by ones. But they're saying you can skip it. If we're starting with 67 and we're also ending with a 7, we can just count up by tens. But this is a little bit harder. And if you're not comfortable counting tens that way, you don't have to. So here we're going to count from 280 to 253s, and they have 2 different ways of doing it. You could count by tens until you get up to that friendly benchmark number. 280, 290, 300. Now it's easy to switch to hundreds. Count by 100, 400, count by 100, 500, and we want to get to 523. So we're going to count 510, 520, and then count on by ones. 521, 522, 523. But you could start with hundreds. You could count from 280 with another 100, it would be 380. With another 100, it would be 480. Now we're counting by tens. And we're going to count 490, 500, 510, 520, 521, 522, 523. Now, if you look at them, they're in a different order, but you've counted on 200s both times. You've counted on 4 tens both times. It's just that here you counted them on early and then after so that you could get to that friendlier benchmark. You still counted on 3 ones at the end. So even though they started a different way, it's going to end up the same. You're going to be counting the same units. All right? Let's get started. On page 115 now, they want you to write the total amount of each of those groups. So we're looking just at that first section here, A. So we're going to count by hundreds. Oh, it looks like they're all hundreds. Let's count. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. 10 hundredths is 1,000. Every time we get to 10 of any unit, we are moving on over to the next unit. So 10 ones is 110. 10 tens is 100. And 10 hundredths is 1,000. Let's count here by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And they are saying dollars. I should have had my dollar sign there. So 10 tens is 100. Let's count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ones is 110. Now this one is all mixed up. It is going to be easiest if we can count by hundreds first. So let's find all these hundreds. And I'm going to actually cross it out as I count it so that I know I'm not getting confused. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. We'll go to tens. 510, 520, 530, and now we'll go to ones. 531, 532. Did we get them all? $532. Cool. We're going to show a way to count from $82 to $512. Now, when those the ones digits are the same, we don't necessarily need to count any ones. Yes, we can get to a friendly benchmark number, but we're going to have to end up counting 10 ones altogether. So let's try counting by 100 first. So we start with 82. And remember, they said we could leave their dollar signs off when we're doing this. We've got 82. We're going to count by 100. So if we're going to add 100 to that, we're going to have 182. If we add another 100, we're going to have 282. If we just add another 100, we would have 382. If we add another, let me put my base 10 blocks under here so you can see what we're doing. This is what we're starting with, 82. We're adding on 100. We're adding on another 100. So now we've got 200 and our 82. Whoops. Now we've added on another 100. We have 382. And I'm going to add on one more 100 for 482. If I put another 100, it would be 582, and that's too many. That's not what we want. So from here, I'm going to start counting by 10. So I'm going to add a 10 only. So I'm changing this number. I'm adding one more to this. So I have still 400, but now I'm going to have 92. And if I'm adding on one more, just changing this number, I'm going to have, I'm going to make it 10. Remember, when we have 10 tens, we're changing the hundreds. So now we're going to be at 502. Think about it this way. If this were 90, it would be 500. So it is just 2 more than that. Now, this isn't quite our number yet. So we are going to add on one more 10 and make it 500, just changing the 10, 512. Now, like I said, we could have done it by ones. Let me show you how that would look without drawing, and you don't need to do this in your book. It would look like this: 82, 83, 84, 85. We're just adding ones until we get to a good benchmark friendly number: 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. Now I'm at a benchmark number. I can start adding by tens. So from this, I'm going to add 10. These are just ones. But now, come back down here, and I'm going to add a 10. So 10 onto 90 would be 100. Now I can start adding hundreds. So I would be at 200, 300, 400, 500, and now I need to add on a 10 to make it 510. And then I'm going to add 2 ones at the very end to make 511, 512. Like I said, you don't need to do this in your book, but I want you to see what it's going to look like. Because here we added all of these ones at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I should have put one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Added 10 ones all together, which would just be another group of 10. And that's what we have up here. We have 4 hundreds. And here we had 1, 2, 3 tens. Here we have 2 tens and 10 ones. All right. So this might be a more difficult way for you to count by tens or by hundreds, but if you can learn to do it, it's going to save you some time. Let's go to page 116. I like the number line. We're going to use the number line to show a different way to count from 580 to 594. So we're going to start with, here at the arrow, this is 580 on both of them. And we're going to get to 994. So we can start with tens. If we're starting with tens, we have 580. We're going to do 10. And that's going to get us to 590. 10, that would take us to 600. Now we'll do hundreds. 700. 800. 900. And we need 94. Goodness, I'm going to have to make my tens much smaller. We now need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens. And 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have to make my hundreds much smaller on the second chart. So here we went 2 tens, 3 hundreds, 9 tens, and 4 ones. This time we're going to start with hundreds and see how that changes things. We're at 580. We're going to do, is that still too big, isn't it? 100 will make it 680. 100, 780, 880, 980, and now we need to get to 94. So from 980, I need 10 990, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for 994. Which one of those was an easier way to count? Well, this has that friendly benchmark, which is in some ways easy. But here we had to do 2 tens here and then 9 tens down here instead of just 1 10. There's an extra 100 here because we had 10 tens. So in a way, this is an easier way to count. It's faster, but it really depends on what's going to be easiest for you. If it is easiest for you to get to that benchmark friendly number, then do that. They're both correct. We're going to draw and solve. Julia wants a bike that costs $75. She needs to save $25 more to have enough money to buy it. How much money does Julia already have? I'm going to make a tape diagram. She wants a bike that costs $75. She needs $25 more. How much does she have? Are we looking to find a whole or a part? We are looking to find this part. We are looking to find a part. We know that the whole thing is $75. She has something, and she needs $25 more. So we need to find the part. We can say 25 plus something equals 75, or we can say 75 minus 25 equals something. Okay, either way will work. This, I think, is pretty simple, especially if we draw it out. So I'm going to make 7 quick tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leave a space, 6, 7, and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here I am subtracting 25. So which number am I subtracting from the tens, and which number am I subtracting from the ones? 5 is in the ones place, so I am subtracting the 5 ones. 2 is in the tens place, so I'm going to subtract 2 tens. That means this is our missing part. Let's count. 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens. And the value of 5 tens is 50. So let's remember when we come back here that we are doing money. We're going to write $50. Boys and girls, you are working so hard. I know the math is difficult. Thanks for sticking with it. We'll see you next time.